there! So I'm sorry about yesterday and not being online and whatever, but I was super busy pretty much all day, and by the time I got home it was too late to really film much of anything because I was dealing with binder things, which I'm wearing today, and I can't figure out why it looks less flat, but it does. Whatever. And then my mom went to sleep, and she can hear me if I'm filming. She can't hear what I'm saying, but whatever. But yesterday I did something super cool, and I asked my best friend to prom. And because she's amazing and wonderful and whatever, she said yes, so we're going to prom together. Now, I'm not going to tell you how I did yet. I'll tell you later. I'll probably use that story at some point this week because now that I have a yes, I'm doing all the great things I initially wanted to do beforehand. I didn't want her under any pressure. So this, I guess, I tried thinking of a pun. The best I could come up with was the promised week, because I promised her that I would ask her in better ways. So here we go. The promised week. It's a religious talk day, so I guess I'm going to start by approaching prom from a Christian perspective. Like, what's a Christian supposed to do with prom anyway? Like, I guess first you really have to talk about what prom is and what prom isn't. Prom isn't drinking and drugs and sex and scandals and whatever, and prom isn't necessarily lifelong commitments or new relationship statuses or things of that nature. Oftentimes, prom is just a celebration of the community that a school has built among its students at large, and the relationship of whatever type between two specific people. And it's also a chance to sort of celebrate who you are and dress up in fancy stuff because you are worth it. It's a reminder of your self-worth. So being reminded that you have value is a very Christian idea because we all have worth since we are made in the image of God. And I think that's super important. And the fact that I'm worth apparently a $238 dress that I bought for $190 on sale is a really cool reminder. I'm worth more than a $15 t-shirt. And it's really useful to celebrate communities because at its heart Christianity is about community. It's about the community and individual experiences with the triune Godhead, and it's about the community we build together. Like, the biggest commandment is love God, but the second biggest is love your neighbor as yourself. Community is vital to our faith. Christianity is not something you can do by yourself. And then celebrating relationships we have with individuals is vital too. I mean, the Bible goes on and on and on about friendships and romantic relationships and marriages, and relationships we have with each other often act as metaphors for the relationship we have with God. So prom, at its core, is very much a Christian thing. Now we can get into all sorts of debates over what you can wear to prom and limiting self-expression versus modesty. But if we approach prom with this idea of valuing ourselves, then whatever we wear will be a reflection of the value we place on ourselves. So when making guidelines about modesty, the question becomes, are we imposing something as an act of self-righteousness because we believe our knowledge is the best? Or are we imposing these guidelines that we hope will encourage students to love themselves in the way we believe God has dictated is best, which is the way He loves us? And once you establish that, then it becomes a little easier, I think, especially for students to understand dress code rules and whatever. And about promposals, Are they inherently a Christian thing? No. I mean, the idea comes from, like, wedding proposals, and then you can trace that to, like, a dowry system, which you can find in the Bible. But I think promposals are just little pre-celebrations, and so here's a promposal, I suppose. So people make the arguments that, like, celebrations and parties and whatever are not biblical, but I can't get behind that in any shape, form, or fashion. And so I think if you are a concerned Christian about the ethics of prom, as long as you are glorifying God and celebrating these relationships He has given to you, I think you're fine. In fact, I know you're fine. Now, if your prom has, like, alcohol and drugs and whatever, it becomes a little more of an interesting question about whether or not you should go, but we're talking about prom itself, not things at prom. Anyway, all this to say, hey best friend, will you go to prom with me? I hope you, and everyone else who's watching, have a great day.